5 is going to be the State of the Union address, sort of, for Nervos University. And we have Freedom and John here. So Freedom's the co-founder of Nervos University, and John is the documentarian who helps us with PowerPoints, pitch decks, and all of that stuff, as well as any auxiliary things that we need to be done.
Yeah, and John is also a holder of CKB, and he's also been in the community for many, many years, for longer than me. So yeah, I don't know. You want to introduce yourself, John? Oh, I think his mic might not be working.
Yeah, no, I'm here. So okay. Yeah, thanks very much for you guys. Well, basically, I'm following Nervos network since a while now. Probably it's almost 3 years. It's quite a while, and I love the project itself, and I started since the beginning, really, the white papers, personally, I'm an executive MBA, so I like the business side behind Nervos, and that's the reason why I like to work on just on the presentation for the Nervos University. So basically, that's it. I'm really happy that we are going forward now.
Yeah, and John is a part of the core team here. So our core team is really just about 4 or 5 people. It's really not a big team, but oh, I don't know if this. Okay, yeah. So we don't really have like a big team, but we're working with what we have, and we're trying to do the best we can. We got some exciting announcements to come up regarding some collaborations that we're going to be doing. But something that I wanted to really stress right now is the fact that our community, aside from having over 500 people in the Nervos University Telegram community, is not the most active, to say the least. So I think what we should do, and I propose that we do a purge. So what that would happen, what would that entail? So basically what we'll do is I'm going to make a poll, and I'm going to put the poll in the chat, and whoever doesn't respond to that within 5 days is going to be purged from the Telegram community chat. And I think that's going to be a good fresh start for us, because we have a lot of exciting news coming and a lot of ways that people can participate to profit and also learn with us. So we want to make sure that we have people in the community that are actually like engaged and, like participating. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it's just an important metric in any successful crypto business these days. Has a lot to do with social media and community building. But if the number is spoofed or inflated, it doesn't add that much actual true value. It just creates the appearance of value and size. So if you have like 20 active members, but like 1,000 total members, it just it doesn't add up, and it doesn't make sense. And that's okay for venture capitalists and investors and stuff like that, who only care about the superficial aspects of your social media progress and your engagement. But at the end of the day, we should not care about something like that, because we are offering a exclusive opportunity to people who are genuinely engaged, active, and looking to, learn a ton about blockchain and make a ton of money. So it's just like, it's doing us a disservice to actually just pretend that the community is this big when we don't have 500 active members. So we may as well just purge the inactive people, and it'll make us more authentic and get rid of that inflation and get away from the sort of manipulative standards of social media growth that everyone is victim to. So it may not be like the best look in the short term, because everyone else is inflating their numbers, like not naming any names, but there's definitely plenty of inflation and like spoofing and bots in any project. And I think the reason that they're not willing to purge it is because they want that fake number to flaunt to people. But we don't care about faking it. So we may as well stand up for what's right and create our own standard of a truly active user base and zero inflation. So that's where we're at with that. And then we should also go over the development, the partnerships, and stuff like that. But if anyone has any comments on that before we move on, go ahead. Okay, so I'll start with the partnerships. We talked to World 3 last week, and they were very excited. And then someone anonymous.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I was making the poll, so I just put the poll in the comments here. Will, if you've been talking, Will, I can hear you, but yeah.
You can't hear me? I've been talking.
No, I can't hear you.
When did I say something? What was the last thing I said that you heard?
You just keep on, just keep riffing. It's okay. It's probably about 2.5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't hear anything about the World 3 thing, partnership that I was talking about?
No, please tell us about that. Yeah.
Okay, so I talked to World 3 and they were very enthusiastic, but ultimately someone from Nervos Nation anonymously messaged them, and basically to sum it up, they were just like discouraging them from partnering with us. And I think that I don't have a problem with people bringing up their concerns or anything like that, or trying to heal from past events, right? Like drama and stuff that happened in the community in the past. That's fine, but it seems like if you're preventing Nervos as an ecosystem from making high-value strategic partnerships, you are not aligned with Nervos. So I think it says more about them than it does about us, and it's very disappointing that people from Nervos Nation think the best course of action is to dwell on the past and prevent future growth from occurring. So I'm going to be more persistent with World 3, right? I'm still in like communication lines with them. They're a great metaverse company partnered with like all the top blockchains. So it's a high value partnership. So I'm going to keep pursuing it regardless. But I just think I personally think the foundation should address the toxic behavior coming from Nervos Nation and their unwillingness to align with the entire ecosystem, because they are directly at this point impeding on the growth of Nervos, which is costing everyone time and money. And I don't like to sound dramatic, but I think that's like an absolute disgrace. It's a disservice.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk it up to a misunderstanding, and I think we should just leave it at that. I know that a lot of you guys have been here for longer than me. Like, I mean, you guys have been involved in the community for many, many years now, so I'm not like too familiar with all the ins and outs of things. But the number one thing that can kill a project is negativity. And I think that if someone from another community, even if it's within the same ecosystem, is trying to do anything to sabotage or I think we have to just try and stay positive and just keep on moving forward with the growth that we've been doing. I mean, we already have a skeleton website ready. The whitelist is ready. We're working on a promo video, which is going to allow people to access the university, or at least access the whitelist and learn a little bit more about what we're doing. So I think all in all, man, I mean, it's a positive from my point of view, at least the way I see things. And I think we should just try to keep it that way. What was I going to say?
So I think it's a positive.
Yeah.
But all I'm going to say is I've been avoiding negativity. So I actually have not been saying negative things about Nervos Nation, especially publicly, when I was was interviewed by Telmo in his podcast. I had nothing but nice things to say about them. But I think there's a crucial line where it's different to point out someone's negativity and to actually be negative. And what I'm trying to do is point out other people's negativity.
Yeah.
No, I'll leave it at that. I won't go any further into it, but yeah, it's just I've been here since the very beginning, and it's hard to deal with the negativity, like you're saying. Like, everyone should be more positive.
Yeah, I mean, we're just trying to build. I mean, that's all we're trying to do, right? It's not complicated. We're just trying to build here. But can we talk a little bit about, let's talk a little bit more about World 3. So, because it's really exciting what the potential partnership, I mean, maybe we shouldn't talk about it too much because it's not like 100%.
Yeah. It's not like we're in the works for like a partnership or an NDA or anything. It's just
Okay.
I think it's fair game to just point out that we've been talking to them and networking with them and like discussing.
And shout out to Fitbit shout out to Fit Crypto, by the way.
Yeah.
He's the one that actually, kind of brought us together with World 3. So I want to give him his flowers for that. I mean,
I think it's been priceless because he's been able to come in clutch with us or for us with these connections and stuff. And I just I can't express how appreciative I am because it's these things are invaluable. You can't even.
Yeah, this is a brotherhood, I mean, like the four of us, the core team, whatever, 5 or 6 of us, however many it is, and we have to just keep on building the community, keep on doing these spaces, and I know that you had a meeting, and we're going to be doing a lot more on Twitter, so I think that we should, start posting more on Twitter and try to get some more engagement and stuff like that.
Let's focus on that for a second.
Sorry?
Can we focus on that for a second and put a bookmark in what you're about to talk about? Because I wanted to discuss this eco fund discussion that I had.
Okay, great. So for those of you who don't know or who might listen to this later and you don't know who the eco fund is, basically Will actually had a meeting with them a couple days ago, so I'll let you kind of explain a little bit about what happened there. But it's very exciting, the opportunity that we have with them, because we'll be able to engage not only with the English community, but we'll be able to expand the Chinese community and open a little door there for them into the world of Nervos University. So yeah, please go ahead and tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this is some great alpha, and if I disconnect it all, just give me a heads up, okay? So if you can't hear me talking, just let me know because I had issues earlier. But the Eco Fund is a very integral part of the Nervos ecosystem, obviously for its namesake. So I think this is a very good strategic collaboration that we're going to have, and the fruits of it are ultimately collaborating on marketing strategies, first of all, between the Chinese and American community. So I'm working on alternative marketing strategies to share with them and do with them. So that might look like social media campaigning. It might look like local meetups, whether it's hosting them or getting a booth. But it's good synergy. It's something that had to happen for a long time because there's always been a disconnect between the Chinese and American community, which is really unfortunate because they're both like good. They're both great communities and they both have a lot to offer and like unique skill sets, very different cultures. So I think if we get some common ground and some overlap, that'll be like mutually beneficial to everyone. And ultimately the result of the conversation was that we're going to be co-hosting some Nervos spaces with them. So we're going to be getting the same or similar treatment that Nervos Nation has been getting for over a year or so. So we're going to get acknowledgement and be on the front stage of these Nervos spaces, and it'll give us like plenty of exposure to the point where I feel like we're going to get a decent number of the community to get involved in Nervos University, which is amazing. And then the third and final component is going to be getting embedded into the Chinese community, which just means that our chat just sort of has a replica version within the Chinese community chat, so that like the Chinese people can interact with the Nervos University, and we'll keep pushing these academic pursuits, these educational pursuits that we've been going for at Nervos University, and just like push it to its absolute limits, and just be like, look, this is being built by some very passionate and serious community members, and like it's being spearheaded by the person who started the American community for Nervos and has been like researching crypto for the better of like 7 or 8 years. And anyone can look at my my track record if they need to, because I have really good papers and research articles and repos that people can check out to validate the objectivity of my research, I guess. So
A little bit. Don't mean to cut you off there, but just to touch on that a little bit.
yeah,
William and I have had long discussions about what the positives and negatives are about CKB, right? And from me being the newest member here, right? The first thing that I noticed that seems to be sort of not even a negative, but just something that might be a little bit off-putting for investors is how complicated CKB is, right? And so that's why we're building a university, because what better way to introduce people into the world of Nervos than to educate them on what it is, right? And to incentivize them to participate in education, right? Reward them for, completing tasks and completing classes and learning about the ecosystem, right? I don't think there's any other project, at least for sure under CKB, but maybe even in crypto in general, that's doing something like this. And so this is an extremely bullish opportunity for anybody that wants to get involved. So me personally, I'm very excited for this. And I think that William's research, like that he's been doing for the past how many years, is all kind of come up to this point, right? Is sort of being able to educate people. And that's what we're doing. We're just trying to build a platform that's based on that.
Because I think like the main difference between my research and my affiliation with Nervos versus a bunch of other people who are trying to educate on blockchains, particular blockchains, like let's just use Polkadot or Ethereum or Solana, for example. A lot of these people are just looking for a job, and they want to get paid to educate people on a product that is paying them to do this education. Whereas I'm almost the inverse, where I came across Nervos through my independent researching, and I concluded that this was a valid solution to scaling blockchain. So I'm educating people on what I believe in and what I think is like objectively true about the ecosystem, instead of just trying to sell people a product.
Yeah. I think right now would be a good time for us to introduce Michael.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're not too shy, Michael, come up and say hi to everybody.
Michael?
So Michael actually, it's funny actually the story how we met Michael. So we were at ETH Boston. We had a really good time there. We obviously everybody here knows Will did the speech, which went really well. And we were at a after party, and Michael actually approached us, and it ended up being a good fit because we were looking for not just any dev, but somebody that is willing to kind of really just put their all into something. And that's kind of where Michael's coming in. He's our main dev. So yeah, Michael, please introduce yourself. I just wanted to like pre-introduce the introduction. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I didn't expect it can be like so formal. Yeah.
We're
So,
trying to be professional.
oh yeah. Like I'm Michael. So I know Will and Ty during the East Boston, and I went to Will's talk, and I was quite amazed by this idea of Nervos University. And previously, I went to like a lot of online courses, and I also helped another Chinese startup company who is also doing the Web3 educational platform, which is doing some similar educational products as well. And I find it is very meaningful to have this initiation to help people who is kind of the beginner of the ecosystem to get to know about this knowledge and help them to build, help them to learn, help them equip themselves with the knowledge that they need. So that's where I come here, and also I am from the computer science background, and I do the kind of full stack, the backend development before. So yeah, this is what I'm mainly helping with.
Yeah, and Michael, just really quick, like I mean, because me and Michael have had conversations as well. And something I want to point out is when Michael was trying to learn about coding, and he's still trying to learn about coding on CKB and within the Nervos using RGB++ and all these things. What was your biggest criticism? And it's okay, you can be honest here, right? Like, I mean, what was your biggest criticism with trying to learn? Like, can you just tell us? I mean, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
I think not to say criticism, but like in terms of the feedback, probably for example, I see a lot of websites related to the Nervos ecosystem. They are promoting Joy ID, and I believe Joy ID has already done a lot of great works.
Amazing platform. Amazing. Shout out to Joy ID, by the way.
But the thing is, like, they still don't support Windows OS. So if you are a Windows user, you can't really register on the Windows machine. And sometimes when I just use their app, and I find the functions are still a little bit limited in terms of the sign in and
Okay, but no, that's not really what, I don't mean to cut you off, but that's not really what I was asking. Michael, remember when we had the conversation when I was telling you to try to research about CKB and RGB++? What was the first thing that you noticed? Maybe I don't know if it's maybe not coming to you right now, but you actually said it to me was there's not a lot of resources, at least readily available resources.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
That's another problem. Yes.
Yeah.
So like I think a lot of these kind of projects and maybe CKB itself, their docs may not really kind of maintain very well, and sometimes the old documentation, they are still there, and there is no it would be better if they can have kind of the updated link to tell people this is the updated version, then we should follow that one, or to tell people this one is no longer maintained. Because
especially for developers. So we're speaking, by the way, like specifically on the developer side. So Michael is a developer, and he's trying to learn about how to code on RGB++ and learn about all these things. And it was a little bit of a difficulty trying to find these resources. And so that's why Nervos University is so important, right? Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah.
So we're going to be able to put everything in one place, right? Like Michael, maybe can you tell everybody, at least maybe Matt, who might not already know, like what? Hi Matt, by the way, I'm Freedom.
Hey, nice hello Matt.
He's listening, but he's not.
Yeah, I saw his comment. But so maybe Michael, can you just tell us a little bit about what we're building and how we're going to be able to make these resources more readily available to Nervos University graduates specifically?
Yeah, so far, for our Nervous University, we have the skeleton website, and we have basically the UI, the front end, and I'm currently building the back end to enable the interaction with the CKB and the Wally connection. And sorry, your question is to how to like to
That's probably my
contribute.
bad. That's my bad. I
Right.
didn't phrase the question properly. Like, imagine you're somebody who's new, right?
Mhm.
Like somebody like you, right? You're new to the Nervos ecosystem and you're a developer and you want to learn how to code on Nervos and you want to learn how to build things, right?
Mhm.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to make Nervos University a place where people can come and basically use it as like a search engine in a way and be able to visit all of these educational courses
Mhm.
and be able to learn and get the tools that they need in order to succeed within the ecosystem. And so
Mhm.
that's sort of like what we're aiming for, right?
Mhm.
Um, so not only are we going to be a community, but we're going to be like an education-based community,
Yes.
and we're going to be rewarding people for engaging in certain learning certain things. Um, so I don't know if we can maybe give a better example, but I think Michael is a perfect example. Like I said, he's a dev. He was new to CKB, and so it's sort of like a good example of being able to say, okay, well, this guy, he's trying to learn how to code on RGB++, and there's all this information. So we're going to be able to consolidate it into a course format where people can come and learn and then use those resources, right?
Yeah. That
So,
will be, I mean, really great and helpful for the developers. So previously, when I was working with HackQuest, the other, the educational platform, they did a course for the mental network. So like they have a series of courses which involves I mean, of course they have some good articles to read, and I think for the developers, they have quite good interactive how do you call that, the coding assignments for the beginners to really pick up the basic operations and the basic knowledge about this ecosystem. For example, how to for, build up a very simple dApp. Uh,
oh, Michael, you're chopping up a little bit. I don't know if it's just for me or is he
No, he's cutting out.
they tell people how to like mint an NFT on that
Michael, slow down. You're overheating.
for how to like
Hey,
do the
you're overclocking right now. Chill. He's cooking too hard. That's the problem.
So
Still
sorry, because
speaking.
this one is
Michael.
in a browser mode, so I can't really see
Still going.
the how do you call
Wait,
that?
let me try to mute him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I muted Michael. As much as we love him, his brain power was just
His brain works
overwhelming
faster
internet.
than the actual bandwidth of the internet.
Yeah, so we'll deal with that in a second, I guess. But I guess what he was getting at was he's done
I
this
think that's
before.
bullish.
He's been around the rings, right? He's done other like course like development for other projects, so he has good experience with what's good and what isn't, and what's required to actually onboard users who have no idea what CKB is or how to use it. And that's just what we're going to facilitate, right? Because he was pointing out that a lot of the documentation was either outdated or just like confusing. And Michael's bilingual; he speaks English and Mandarin. So like, if something's still confusing to the person who can like translate all of the documentation, it needs some sort of simplification and streamlining process. So I guess that's what we're overall trying to do. And then
What we're trying to solve. Yeah, exactly.
and then the second value add is just creating a community of like super minds, right? Like people always loved my public lectures that I used to give out in the Nervos community back in the early days. Like I would just rant all day about how this is that, and the scalability is genius, and the architecture is amazing. So just combining the development, just making it a simpler onboarding process, combined with my sort of evangelism skills, is going to create like an exclusive like club opportunity for people. And then this is where World 3 comes in, because we're talking to World 3, who's like partnered with Nervos and with like many other major blockchains in the ecosystem. And they offered to build us an online, like a metaverse campus for Nervos University.
Like a VR classroom type thing. Yeah.
So
It's time now to meeting the educational way.
Yeah, we're evolving to the Web3 space, and we're creating a club, like a Nervos club. At the end of the day, it's going to be like, hey, this is pretty exclusive. Like it doesn't go out to just anyone. You have to actually care and want to make money. And it's just like, it's like Hustlers University, like Andrew Tate's thing.
Oh, way better than that.
It's not a scam.
Much better because we can offer the tools necessary to integrate
Yeah.
users into the world of crypto and DeFi.
Yeah, the whole
Yeah, with
goal
all due respect, hey, listen, I like Andrew Tate, but he doesn't really know, at least he doesn't seem to know very much about crypto, right? He's just an influencer.
I mean,
I don't think he really knows that much about it.
I mean, he was very negative towards it about a year ago, and then now he's just loving it because the meme coins are popular, and it's just like the same old story of like crypto gets popular, a bunch of grifters come in and try to make money. And the ironic thing is, or the irony of it, is that Andrew Tate prides himself in being anti-grifter. So it's just so funny seeing the grifter, or seeing the anti-grifting entity or like figure in social media, like being a total grifter. But I guess that's a topic for another time.
Yeah, well, his excuse, by the way, just to round that off, was that I'm bored. That's why I want to get involved in crypto. But we all know it's because he wants to make money.
Yeah, right? And I think it feeds it. I honestly
just attract to the blockchains and to cryptos just to make money. The problem is that they lose money most of the time, and because there are no, there are no courses, or people still rely on crypto's guru. That's one fucking problem.
Yeah,
man, there's such a lack of education. There's such a lack of education.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not even just about blockchain. It's about finance and investing. Like these people, they think they're getting into investing into innovative technology or just whatever. I mean, some people know they're investing in meme coins that can go up and down, but it's like you have to have your sense, your basic understanding of risk tolerance and risk management, so that you don't get like burnt by all these pump and dumps. And that's ultimately what happens. It's like these charismatic people show up, like Ansem on Twitter, and they become this conduit for marketing and shilling your favorite meme coins. And he picks one that he likes and talks about it, and then it pumps like 10x, and then it dumps to zero. And no one seems to call it out, right? Ansem's still like alive and well on Twitter, even though he's a notorious pump and dumper, if you wanted to describe it in a legal sense. So,
yeah, I would say that there's two paths you could take in crypto, right? You could either go the quick money route where you're chasing pump and dumps and stuff like that. And then there's legitimate projects that you can, be a part of. And I think that that's what we're trying to build here. We're basically building a layer 2 kind of on, CKB, right? That's what Nervos University is. So yeah, I think it's going to be really good for people to join in and learn and be able to contribute.
Yeah, well, I mean, like in a non-technical sense, I would agree, right? Like it's obviously not a literal layer 2, and that's just something we'd have to.
It's not a literal layer, yeah.
It's just something to clarify because this space tends to take everything so literally. but it is a good layer to the stack of like necessary components in what makes an ecosystem thrive, which is education.
We're building the first LearnFi platform on Nervos.
Yeah, ultimately, yeah.
Right.
I haven't seen another one, so yeah. But
I guess you would call it like a
it's
part of
just
the
like
Nervos ecosystem, right?
it's an early stage DAO. That's what I would say because
Definitely a part of the ecosystem, really. Sorry, Will.
okay, go ahead.
No, I was just jumping in when I heard about the Nervos ecosystem. Well, it definitely is part of the Nervos ecosystem, even because we will have the digital assets certification. We will incorporate the DID students. We have so many features actually, and we will have the marketplace as well for the students, for the rewards and the prizes. So it's definitely it is a part of the ecosystem, and it is also allow us to join between the different projects as well.
Yeah, and I think this is just it's a great experience, right? Because we're World 3, for example, they were beyond enthusiastic to collaborate with us, and that's just interesting because it definitely shows that there's a demand for this stuff because World 3 already has their education courses, but they're still interested in working with us. So that tells us that there's something unique we have that isn't like an ordinary education source. We're building like the full package experience from start to finish in your like beginner boot camp for crypto and ultimately finding where your skills and what's the word? Your aptitude is best applied in the space. And that's what we're going to achieve. And I think like I want to wrap it up here because it's definitely been like at least almost an hour. But I just want to say everyone else can have their closing statements. But I just want to say what matters most is that we actually deliver and prove that we can do what we're saying. And I'm optimistic about the next few months because we'll have the website live, the MVP live, so the first courses, and then we'll be running the whitelist, and hopefully, as long as World 3 is willing to cooperate, they're gonna promote us to their like 200,000 users, and we're gonna do a test run of like 50 people, like the 50 best people who like seem best fit for this, and just run them through it for like the timeline of the course, which should be like 8 weeks plus onboarding into the real world. So it's bullish and it's going to be a good experiment, I think, because I think we're going to do well. I don't think we're going to fail, but even if we did, I think we're inspiring something that is going to stay around for a long time.
Hey, great job, guys. I think you could stop the recording here.
Okay, 1 second.